I got married about 2 years ago and I got engaged shortly before that, as is the custom. And I had my IQ tested shortly before I got engaged in a separate incident at 136, which is very smart. And I think the week after we got engaged, went down to about 42. Because I went from, hi, my name's Katrina, I'm a stand-up comic, to, I was coming up to people I don't even know, going, shiny! And they're like, flat white, thanks, love, Jesus. And you get different reactions when you show one of these puppies to people. If you show it to a chick whose engagement ring is more expensive than yours, and we know that instantly, she'll look at you and she'll go, oh, that's lovely. You must really love him. And conversely, if you show it and yours is more expensive, she'll just look at you and go, yeah, nice. And you can tell what she's thinking is, what did you have to do to get that? You must put out like a Russian gymnast. My personal favourite, you show it to a chick that does have a boyfriend but doesn't yet have an engagement ring of her own. You can have a look at that and she'll go, precious. But he did the right thing. He asked my dad first, which I thought was very cute, although a little strange, because I'm the youngest of 6 and have never listened to a word Dad says. You know, and I'm from a really rough part of Brizzy, so I remember growing up at the age of 15 trying to rebel in a rough place like that. I would come home with, at 3 in the morning, bottle of Bundy in one hand, cigarette in the other, dwarf under one arm. I thought it was a midget till it kicked me. Turned out to be a garden gnome, who knew? I'd come home and go, g'day Dad, how the hell are you? Dad'd go, 3 a.m, get out, that was terrible. Where are you from? Ascot, get out. You're a disappointment. So when my boy asked my dad, he said, Mr. Shields, I love your daughter and I'd like to make her my wife. Dad decided to mess with his head and said, why? Because there's no right answer to that question. So he paused for a second and he said, why? Is she pregnant? Mate, you better be sure it's yours. Because I'm from a rough part of town, it's a fair cop. So we got married and it was all very sweet and lovely, but I don't have kids, mostly because I hate them. I would leave them in a casino car park. I would. I'd forget to give them a car to sit in, and they can't drive. Perfectly good waste of a BMW, if you ask me. But everyone took the time at our wedding to come up to me and go, when are you going to have babies? When are you going to have babies? And I was like, when are you going to bugger off and stop drinking my free piss? You know, and the last person to ask me was my mum. And my mum's the most beautiful woman on the planet. She's this big, she's 5'4", and she said, darling, when are you going to give me grandbabies? I was so over being asked the question, I said, I don't know, Mum. I don't think you can have them the way we do it. Your minds took you there. Just so you know. Mum looked confused for a second and then said, well, we had you, and I went, oh, good God. Instant ice cream headache, thanks, Mum. But a lot of people say my husband's a brave man. I'm 6 feet tall in flat shoes. And often when I say that, people go, oh, that's great, you go, girl. You know, like I had something to do with it, and it's not great. Because seriously, guys in the audience, really think about this. How often have you looked up at a chick and thought, yeah, I'll take a crack at that. I wouldn't mind being bitch slapped by an Amazon, bring it on. Doesn't tend to, unless I'm sitting down. Men will have a go if I'm sitting down because I'm quite well endowed and men aren't stupid. But more often than not, I stand up and the poor bastard just goes, oh, holy crap. I'm gay, and just buggers off. You know, and I usually yell something really sensitive after them, like, keep running, little man. I could break you. And you know, girls, if you're feeling a bit feminine, a bit girly, and you just want to say to a guy, protect me, protect me. I can't do that. Because I say to a guy, protect me. And he goes, from what? Godzilla? There's a fight, bitch, I'm standing behind you. And I've got the feet to go with my petite little frame. I have size 13 feet, which would be, thank you, which would be cool if I was a guy, you know? If I got up here and went, hi, I've got really big feet. Every chick in the crowd would go, really? Hello, sailor. No, I'm a chick with big feet. Not such a good result. I actually went I had a really bad road rage incident the other day. This happened, I'm driving along and the guy next to me thought I cut him off, mostly because I cut him off. Fair cop, one might say. And rather than do the usual Australian bit of sort of leaning on the horn, giving a bit of this sort of action, I kid you not, this guy has held up a pair of scissors. What the hell does that mean? And who has that ready? So I wish in hindsight, because at the time I just kind of kept driving going, you freak, but I wish in hindsight I had something really random to hold back at him. Like a blender. That's on for no apparent reason. But I got home and I told my husband, who's also a stand-up comic, and I said, darling, he held up a pair of scissors. He said, sweetheart, you should have held up a rock. My name's Katrina Davidson. Thank you very much.